Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have a lovely article here about that wonderful, beautiful woman, Susan Aitkin. Nice picture of her in the thumbnail there. This is the woman who we call her Two Seats, because when she flies anywhere, which she does quite regularly at taxpayers' expense, she needs to buy two seats, plane being the size they are. And so she was the one who spent thousands and thousands of pounds going off, taking an entourage to Dubai, even though she wasn't invited and had no reason to be there. This kind of thing. All about me, says Susan. That could be the title of her autobiography that nobody will buy. Well, it's said that she, personally, as well as within her SNP team, have absolutely destroyed Glasgow. They've ripped the heart and soul out of what was once a great city. They've tried to make it car-free, poor people free. They want to alienate everyone who doesn't think the way that they think, do the things they do. And it's being described as being utterly delusional. And when she's asked when Glasgow will be improved and being better than it is, she hasn't got a clue. She doesn't know because she hasn't got a clue what she's doing about anything. She's a woman who's found herself in a position of power despite having no expertise or knowledge or the ability to exercise that power. We're going to take a look at this to see how it is that this woman has been allowed to run riot across a city with no accountability. Here goes. So, utter delusion. SNP leader Susan Aitkin, unable to say when Glasgow will be improved, as she is accused of destroying the city. And of course, we've seen all the things that she's done. We've done so many videos on, everything that's breaking down, that's falling apart, that is no longer working. And yet they can find thousands and thousands of pounds to put up two ceremonial lampposts outside the Lord Provost's house. It's a shame that nothing else works. The Nationalist Glasgow City Council leader gave an unconvincing interview to STV where she insisted the local authority were trying their best to improve the city centre, which is full of rats, empty shop units and damaged pavements. And that, I think, sums up what really she's done. Imagine a wasteland. Imagine an economic wasteland. Imagine the broken, boarded up shops, empty, deluded of people, pavements ripped, damaged, cracked, rats everywhere. This isn't some dystopian film of the future. This is Glasgow. This is today. This is what Susan has done. And of course, nothing is going to improve while that mad woman is in charge. She doesn't give, to quote it, a rat's arse. The SNP leader of Glasgow City Council has been accused of delusion and of destroying one of the greatest cities in the world. Aitkin gave an interview to STV News on Monday night where she failed to say when the region would be improved. Because she doesn't know. She doesn't know how to make it better. She doesn't know what she's doing. She sees empty storefronts and she says, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't shop there. She doesn't live there. I live in a much nicer area with proper shops, She was pulled up on the comments she made in 2021 when she claimed that all the city needed was a spruce up in preparing the hosting the Euros. But 3 years on, and the state of the city centre has worsened, with reports of graffiti, rats, and Sauchiehall Street being completely dug up. And I think it still is. Anyone in Glasgow, please confirm. Let me know in the comments. The Nationalist Councillor was pulled up on his criticism and completely abdicated any responsibility for it. Of course, we're never going to take responsibility. Wasn't my fault. Big boy did it, ran away. Or Brexit. Or Westminster. Or, well, it's something that just happened. Aliens. That'll be the next thing. Aliens. She blamed it on COVID. It's 2024, folks. COVID ain't been a thing for quite some time now. And insisting they were doing their best. Well, maybe they are. I believe that they truly are doing their best. It's just that their best is shit. These statements were not welcomed by angry rivals who highlighted the downfall of Scotland's biggest city. She was questioned about it. I went and bought just an aside, I know, and I can't remember the name of the road, but I went and bought a car in Glasgow, and I drove to this guy's address. He gave me such and such a road Glasgow. And that's all I had, 21 such and such a road, Glasgow. I went and knocked on this door, and there was an old man in there, and I said, I'm here to buy the car. And he looked at me and went, what are you on about? I said, Auto Trader, you had a car for sale, and I bought it. I've already handed you the cash. Just need to pick it up. He looked at me. I said, that's the address, isn't it? His wife come out and said, oh, son. He said, it's because it was some time ago, let me tell you, 20 years ago. I was still somebody's son now. I'm still somebody's son now, but, I was son to older women. She says, oh, son, she says, I know what you mean. This road, we've got the same road, and it's over the other side of Glasgow. Same name. Thanks, Glasgow. Thanks. Do you know how long it took me to cross Glasgow in a car at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Surprised I'm still not there. This was like 20 odd years ago. Anyway, interesting tangent. Sorry about that. Anyway, she said, when asked about when the state of the city centre and when it would improve, she said, it's not for want of trying on the part of the council. Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. What else could it possibly be? If you actually wanted to do it, it would happen. Like you wanted to bring in an unnecessary air quality zone. Totally unnecessary, but you wanted it, and so if you build it, they will come. They built it, and nobody came, and now the footfall, of course, is massively down, putting even more stores to put up the boards and say, closed for business. Well done, Susan. You're an economic genius, a powerhouse of ideas, methinks. She said there's been a change of behaviour since the pandemic. There is no doubt about that. We have seen a big increase in graffiti, for example, much more in Glasgow than we used to have. Well, that's because people spray graffiti in shitty places. When you have nice buildings, open storefronts, people busy, walking back and forth, quality, that doesn't happen. Run down depressed areas get graffiti, so it goes to show what you've done, Susan. She also attempted to deflect blame for the amount of empty units in the city centre, which have contributed to the centre becoming an eyesore, and she's claiming not to have powers to fix this. Well, of course you have the powers to fix this. You reduce the rates and let people go in and attempt to run a store. And with reduced rates, they're more likely to do so. That way, more stores, more footfall, rising tide. People come with one thing, see something else, pop into a second shop and a third. That's how it works. Not in Susan's mind, because Susan's retarded. She says we don't have control of those empty units as a council. Yes, you do. And something I've been lobbying very hard for from government is the power and levers we need. You've got them. Reduce the rates for everyone on the street. Anyway, she said, I'm going to do something with this. I'm breaking the law. I'm certainly not going to be asking my officers to do that. She said, I'm not going to break the law. I'm not going to ask that. But you do have those powers. You have the powers to reduce the rates to a point that other people will be willing to go in and risk opening a store. And if you reduce them for everyone on the street benefits. They will make more money. They may, who knows, maybe hire someone. But of course, when you've got those units going in and being filled with people, you're getting the income from that as well. Money is easy. It makes itself if you've got someone in charge who knows what the hell they're doing. Unfortunately for Glasgow, you keep voting in the same old morons. You get nothing changes. If you vote in an idiot, all you're going to get is idiocy. She concludes, she claimed that the city's in a period of transition right now. That's right, it's going from bad to worse. She said it's impossible for us to get to the other side without some disruption, a bit like Sauchiehall Street. And I'm confident that Glasgow City Centre has a bright future ahead of it. So do I. I think it does too. In about 2.5 years, when you vote it out. Scottish Tory councillor for the city, Thomas Kerr, the other one in the thumbnail, described her comments as utter delusion. Anyway, the SNP Greens have been in charge of Glasgow for 7 years. In those years, our city centre has deteriorated, with our nighttime economy and hospitality struggling to stay alive. It's time to say enough is enough. And he's right. And the time has come to boot these people out, to claim back the city, and to make sure that this mad, deluded moron never again has the power to screw things up as badly as she obviously has. Will come up. What is worse, and what will probably make you feel a lot more angry than you possibly already do, is the fact that come April, and under the new rules, which apparently were set by an independent body appointed by the government, Susan will be now earning more money as leader of a council than Rishi Sunak who's the Prime Minister of Great Britain. And her pension will be immense. And you'll be paying that, dear taxpayer, for the remainder of her life. What happens to these people if we change the rules and said, no, you're only a councillor if you want to be. Not paying you. You get your expenses for turning up, and that's it. People like her would have to go and earn a living. Who the hell would employ her? Who on earth would employ this woman? Serial failure. And greedy. And excessive. And very spendy with other people's money. No thank you. No thank you, Susan. It's time to go. Let's vote her out. Let's say goodbye. And let her just disappear and never be seen again. Well, obviously, seen again, you can't miss her. But, you know, never seen him in a position of authority again. I'll stop there. Thank you very much. Do please hit the subscribe button. I hope that's entertained you. Definitely hit the like button if it has. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.